Howdy, howdy. Morning, or evening, or whatever, wherever you are. I have a list here that I said I would read, discuss, whatever, in an earlier video. I'm going to mention some rather neat, excuse me, rather neat rules and or house rules that you could use, optional rules you could use at your table. That sometimes I do, or just I would like to, and if anyone has or would like to, let me know in the comments. Be pretty cool. Before I get into that, I have two things. Ooh. I'm going to mention some folks that I watch, I like, I enjoy. You might not, but hey, what the heck? Put it out there. First and foremost, the living legacy. Tim Kask. Check his stuff out. He's also known as the curmudgeon in the cellar, but his YouTube, his handle is Tim Kask. Great stuff. There's another channel called The Old Warlock. They're a father and son combo. Fun stuff, refreshing. Neat little discussions, topics. The Old Warlock. Like I said before, I'm on my phone, so I have yet to figure out to put links, to where folks can actually just click on who I'm talking about. Hopefully I will be able to figure that out, even if I have to go, use someone else's not phone device to do so. I will. Give it time. There's also a fella, he goes by the handle of Rune Hammer. Fun. Nutty, but yet fun. Good. Talks about current game, or recaps, answers some questions when he's live. Again, just neat. You have fun. There's also a fella, a Captain Courageous. It's actually spelled, it's CaptCourajus. Captain Courageous. Check them out. There is Dungeon Craft, Professor Dungeon Master. Good. I've actually used his idea. I never saw it until not too long ago, about the UDT, the Ultimate Dungeon Terrain. I actually made some of my own. I'll show at some point in better detail. I've actually stepped it up a notch. Still, check them out. We also have Greyhawk Grognard. If you want Greyhawk, go to that fella. Trust me. There is Hexed Press, Hexed, Hexed Press. If you like hexes, there you go, pony. Bandit's Keep. A nerd's nerd. I like the guy. I get a kick. And I'm going to say it one more time, just because the guy actually named this channel on his show, DM James. I'm also going to quote the words of the living legacy that is Tim Kask. I'm going to tell you, any of this stuff that I suggest you check out, or even what you're watching now, your mileage may vary. It is what it is. Alright. Oh, the other thing before we get to the other thing. I grabbed a game the other day. It arrived, it came in, and it looks neat. I haven't really read it thoroughly. But it's just one of those, caught my eye, so I just had to grab it. I had a little couple extra yucks, and here it is. Dialect. A game about language and how it dies. It seems pretty neat. Neat concept. I haven't read it thoroughly. I've gone through it a bit. Wow. You could incorporate this into the table. It only takes, it's 3 to 5 players and, 3 to 4 hours. Well, that ain't bad for a little side game, your wizard is looking up something, or the party is trying to decipher some old runes or old, dead language. It's kind of neat. It comes with a deck of cards. Trying to get it to focus here. But anyways. Ooh. Ooh. Dialect. Neat. Now, pardon moi. All right. Drink a. The actual rules that could be used as house rules, optional rules list. I said I'd go over them. I'm gonna. Here it comes. Okay, the first one is really neat. I stumbled upon it the other day. I picked up a book. Let's see here. Let's get these right here a little closer so I'm not stretching. Alright, I picked up this little beaut. It actually works with the OSE. But again, it could work with BX. I mean, it's BX. I just randomly put a bookmark in this one of the lists of this optional. This is really neat. Instead of rolling a hit die when you level up, obviously after first level. Okay, I'm going to read right here under the entry of Elf. You roll a D12 instead of rolling the hit die. And you get, off of this list I'm about to read, some random bonuses. This works with a dwarf, halfling, fighter, cleric, etc. If you want to use it. I kind of, neat. Okay, here we go. For Elf. If you rolled a 1, again on a D12, if you rolled a 1, given elven chain, non-magical, chainmail. It encumbers as leather. 2, bonus of +1 to hit versus orcs or trolls. Okay. Number 3, improve 1 detection skill of the player's choice by 1. I.e. from a 1 in 6 chance to a 2 in 6 chance, 2 in 6 chance to a 3 in 6 chance, etc. If you roll a 4, herbal remedies, cure disease or neutralize poison. Roll current level or less on D20 to succeed. Okay. If you roll a 5, double-fisted. You may fight with a melee weapon in each hand. Roll one attack at +1. If successful, roll damage for each weapon and take the best result. If you roll a 6, parry. +1 AC with melee arms. Yeah, not ranged. If you roll a 7, long shot. Ignore the long range 2-hit penalty with bows. Nice. If you roll an 8, double shot. Fire 2 arrows per round. Different targets only if you win initiative. Whammo. Number 9. Spells have maximum effect when cast in a forest terrain. Oof. If you roll a 10, natural familiar. It's got to be a forest animal, intelligent, and speaks with the elf. Number 11, when in forests, gain +1 to surprise. And number 12, the big whammy, roll for hit points and then roll again, ignoring a second result of 12. Wow. I like that. I like it. Alright. Let's see here. Let me check this off. Oh, boy. A pencil. Yeah, whatever. Heck that way. Oh, yeah, here, if anyone uses any type of, like, fate tokens or destiny tokens or hero tokens, chits, coins, trying to think any other words that could be used for the same concept. You know, you have a token that you can, or a point that you can expend during play to gain an advantage or a bonus, a mulligan. You know, and I mean, a lot of people, they just keep track of it on a piece of paper. You know, some tables they like to, which I do, you know, involve a little coin or some type of marker that you cash in. A while back, I was playing. I, you know, got into the Zweihander. It is fun stuff. But they use a similar concept that's in their game base rules. But I read, I don't know if it was from the folks directly from Zweihander or someone else's idea on a forum. But this is really neat. Okay, to represent those tokens, those coins, that fate, that, you know, destiny, well, whatever. You know them little coins that are actually chocolate? When you use it, you get to eat the chocolate. That's fun. I like that. Two that are, well, this is next on the list. Right here, there's one. This is out of Knock. Whatever. Issue 1. Volume 1. Whatever you want to call it. It's on page 53. I like it. Let me cross this off because I'm about done with it. Okay. It's called I'm the effing daddy system. Alright, everyone has standard hit points. Except now you can use them to succeed on rules. You can use them to hit things. You can use them to You actually, in a way, gamble your hit points to succeed. The basics of it, I'm getting to the short of it. Okay, let's say you have 9 hit points, whether it's total or just available at the moment. Let's say you're in a tense situation. You can opt to spend a hit point. You can spend 3. For each hit point that you spend, you gain another die to roll, and you get the better result. So basically, it's like you gain advantage. You could do that with D20 on skills or to hit. You could do that with D6 or D8, on damage, or you have a 1 in 6 chance. Well, guess what? I have said 9 hit points. I'm spending 3 of them. I'm going to strain myself. I'm going to roll 3d6, and hopefully you're going to get that 1 out of 6 chance on those 3, any one of those 3 sixers that were rolled. That's neat. I like that. That's actually, might be using that one. Sorry here, I'm a little scatterbrained, as usual. Okay, this one comes from Neoclassical Geek Revival. Just a little guy. Neat though, neat. Thinking. Okay, the first one I have on my list is, which isn't really new of a concept, but it's called Schrodinger's character. I'll read the first paragraph. Often the problem with creating a character is that he or she doesn't live through the first adventure, or maybe the second. I paraphrase that. This is normal, which is why heroes are rare. Most adventurers die. But playing a guy who dies, then starts over, then dies again isn't always fun. But sometimes it can be hilarious. This is where Schrodinger's character comes into play. The character just happens to be the perfect hero for their first adventure. The first session is character creation. I'm going to interject, or session 0, as some folks say, but whatever. The first session starts with all the players naming their character, assigning a species, and assigning or rolling their attributes. The players then proceed with their character by filling out aspects of their character. Now, here's the thing. You fill out your aspects of your character when required after any rolls are made. This requires some record keeping on the first and perhaps second game, but allows for more organic character creation. So you don't fill in your skills, it's when you use something, then you write that down as a skill, or talent, ability. I like that. That's neat. That's really neat. I mean, that circumvents in a way that doesn't circumvent. Well, maybe. You get together and the DM says, oh, we're going to do undead, or we're going to do, the majority of the adventure is going to be dealing with gnolls and trolls or whatnot. So the players have an idea, then they create a character that is more likely to succeed when encountering said creatures or overall theme. That's, why not? That's respectable. That's been going on for ever. But I like the Schrodinger's character because you can keep a little surprise, a little mystery at the table. Well, what's the theme? Well, you're going to find out the theme as you go through this, and you will, as long as the DM isn't a jerk and throws curveballs, yeah, oh, it's a bunch of gnolls, and then it turns into a completely undead theme. Dick. It'll work. I like it. There's also what's called the known rule. Same. I like. Some games, most games, a lot of games, they contain a number of rules, sometimes at large, extent, a lot of rules. In the end, it's not likely someone will have them all memorized. The rules of the game are only applicable if someone involved actually knows the rule or claims to. If no party knows the rule, then they obviously did not choose their course of action based on the mechanics. In such a case, the DM, GM, referee, I'm adding that, I'm saying, should issue a ruling and move on. You should never be looking up rules during play. Doing so results in a -1 awesomeness for a player, or a +1 awesomeness to all players if the DM looks up a rule. Now, awesomeness is a mechanic. It's kind of like hero points, bonus points, something you can add to a roll in a session, in a game. I think you can only have so many. I'm not exactly sure, but you kind of get the idea here. So maybe I don't know, you translate any kind of non-game ending session damaging bonus or penalty to get the idea. I like it. I like it. Another one I like, and I have used, and I am using. It's out of the book. It's a 3-5 rules setting. The Black Company. It's actually based on the books by Glenn Cook, the novels, books, whatever you want to call them. Look, here's was my feeling, has been my feeling since day one, 30-some years ago. Are you telling me that an elf or a dwarf that has dedicated his life to the forge can't make any better than a frickin' +1 weapon without magic being added? That's frickin' lunacy. Sheer madness. So, Black Company addresses that, even though it's a humanocentric setting. There's all humans only. And I like the way they do it. There are different masterwork levels. You have your average, then you have fine, excellent, exceptional, superior, masterwork, and masterpiece. These are all mundane, but it's through craftsmanship that there are bonuses applied. And some of the bonus, there's some varied bonuses. Like, let's say if you wanted to put, like, if you wanted to, all right, we're going with excellent. So you had an excellent weapon. There would be 2 benefits that could be applied to the, or item, armor, or weapon. Now, let's say, all right, here we go. We have armor. We'll go with armor here. Let me find this up. Okay, fortified. Now, again, this is using the 3-5 rules, D20 OGL. But, you could easily, you can springboard off of this and get some ideas for your game, for your system that's being used. All right, fortified. It's armor. The first benefit, there's always 3 benefits. Now, the first benefit, there's a 10% chance that any critical hit or sneak attack or ambush damage is negated while wearing this armor. Nice. Now, I said we're going for the excellent, so you get 2 benefits. Now you cannot double the fortified. So you can't benefit it unless it says in the list, and it will if you do look this up. This is on page 116 of the book, by the way. Green Ronin, published. Alright, we did the fortified. Now we're going to go with Mastercraft. Here's the other benefit that can be applied as well as that fortified. Mastercraft. The first benefit, armor reduces its armor check penalty by 1 to a minimum of 0. That's pretty sweet. And again, there's weapon ones. You know, we could go accurate. We could go, the first level of accurate is +1 quality bonus to its attack rolls with this weapon. If you double it, you get a +2. If you triple it, you +3. Now, to be able to triple any single benefit or double the benefit, you would have to go to the what would be considered the level would be exceptional, up through superior, masterwork, or masterpiece. And there's a nice list of sturdy, thick, ornate, rugged, well crafted. You know, some of them are any gear, any item. Some of them are just for weapons and armor. Really freaking cool. I like it. I usually use it. Another one I like, I'm not using currently, but I've used it before, is usage die for ammo, food, torches, water, even mundane spell components. I kind of like it. It's neat. If no one knows about usage die, Forbidden Lands does this, and I'm sure other games have done it, do it, use it. The max, at least coming from Forbidden Lands, is a D12. Then it drops to a D10. Then a D8. Then a D6. Now what happens is, if you have, I don't want to say max capacity, but I'll use that for lack of a better term. If you have max torches, or water, food, components, ammo, every time that you use, let's say, alright, you're in a dark room in a dungeon, you know, pitch black night, no moon, you need a torch to see. Okay, I grab my pack of torch, light one up, you roll a D12. If you roll a 1 or a 2, you immediately drop to the next lowest usage die. So let's say I rolled a 1. Ah, son of a bitch. Oh well. Next time I light a torch, I roll a D10. If, again, 1 or 2, down to a D8. Down to a D6. D6 is it. You roll a 1 or a 2, you ain't got a nada. You're out. I kind of like it. Not using it right now, but I do like it. Same with arrows. And it's every time you use one. So, you know, torches, food, water, that's kind of in perspective. You're not going to run the risk of running out as quickly. But every time you take a shot with your crossbow or your short bow or your booger flinger, whatever it is that takes ammo, you got to roll that ammo die, that usage die. So you could crap them out real quick. You could, probably not. And it also reflects to me, in my mind, all right, you roll that D12 and you didn't roll a 1 or a 2. Well, okay, that also says the next time that you're in a combat or in a situation where you're going to use your bow, booger flinger, whatever, you found those the used ammo and it was still usable. That's why it didn't really decrease. I like it. It's neat. I also read... Now, this is a house rule, and I'm not sure how to go about explaining this, that I like. I don't know if I've read it anywhere. I have used it in different games. And there might be aspects of this class that can and does do this through skill, through abilities. I do like the idea of, okay, if you're using random encounters in the wilderness, I like the idea of a ranger being able to mitigate at least one random encounter in a given period of time. I like that, because, I mean, you're a freaking ranger. You ought to be able to, I don't want to say sixth sense, but, hey, scouting up ahead, I heard, yeah, let's just chill here for an hour or so. Let whatever it is pass, do what it's doing, so we don't, whoops, hey, we're gonna fucking die, kind of thing. I like it. You know, maybe in a BX style game, maybe a 1 in 6 once a day, or I don't know, you can even tie it to that I'm your frickin' daddy rule. Hey, you want to expend an HB? You get the rando mitigation chance. Or, you know, I'm not sure, but I just like that idea, that thought of, you know, because randos can be deadly. I also like, this is a steadfast rule in the 5e D&D, advantage and disadvantage. That's cool. I mean, that is cool. However, I believe it was first seen in the One Ring RPG, circa 2011. So, don't let them take fucking credit for it. No. And I backed that Kickstarter for the One Ring RPG. You folks will see that book. The one I got, magnifique. I like potion miscability. That's out of the AD&D First Ed DMG, page 119. Beauty. What I like about it, what's fun about it, is potion miscability. The magical mixtures and compounds which comprise potions, which comprise, the magical mixtures and compounds which comprise potions are not always compatible. You must test the miscability of potions whenever two potions are actually intermingled, or a potion is consumed by a creature while another such liquid already consumed is still in effect. And then there's a random, you know, what might happen. It's a D100 percentile potion miscability table. The results are neat. I'll read the worst and the best. Okay, explosion, internal damage, 6 to 60 hit points. Those within a 5-foot radius take 1 to 10 hit point. If mixed externally, all in a 10-foot radius take 4 to 24 hit points damage. No save. The best. Discovery. The admixture of the two potions has caused a special formula which will cause one of the two potions only to function, but its effects will be permanent upon the imbiber. Note that some of the harmful side effects could as well result from this. But I mean, that's, yeah, it might not be the best, but most potent, I mean, permanency, especially. using these rules. Wow. What else is on this list? Oh, you know, sometimes, a lot of times I like to use silver as the standard coin instead of gold. I like it. There's also the, and I read this somewhere, and I cannot recall the source. I'm certain I read this. Not sure if it's a game rule. I'm not sure if it's was a house rule or optional rule. But I don't know where. I can't quote. I'm sorry if someone does know. I doubt it, because there's weapon damage based on character class hit die. This again is going for with a like BX style, BX rules, like OSE or you know, dispute, or you know, the actual basic and or expert sets. It's not based on the hit dice, but hit die. So, you know, fighters are a bit more potent because, duh, they're fighters. They should know how to use weapons better. That one's kind of neat. You know, I mean, wizards, they're D4 hit die, so pretty much every weapon they use is D4. Now, you could obviously, I'm thinking, incorporate any bonuses to damage and hit via applicable attribute. That's kind of neat. Something to think about, I think. I do like, this is a standard rule, but I do like Hackmaster. I love that stuff. Oh, if you want crunch, hit the hack. Because if you can wrap your head around the combat with hack, which it is actually fluid and organic once you give it a few tries, once you go hack, it's hard to go back. I'm telling you, especially dealing with combat and spellcasting. Kenzerco, Hackmaster. Latest edition, they call it 5th edition, or Hackmaster Advanced. Hackmaster, in their latest edition, their advanced, their 5th edition. I like the attribute increase when you level up. When you roll your attributes, and plus their attributes, they are worth more. They do more, way more than the stereotypical or the norm. Look into it. I believe there's a free basic version at kenzerco.com, KENZERCO.com. Hackmaster Basic. I believe the PDF is still free. Look this up. The attributes, when you roll your strength, you roll your 3d6, and you also roll a percentile. As an example, I rolled a 13 / which would be my percentile next, 58. That 58 represents how close you are to actually having that strength become a 14. When you level up. Now, there are points, build points you get at creation and when you level. You can put those towards your percentage to increase it. Besides that, let's say there are no build points. You still get the standard array of dice, a 20, a 12, a 10, an 8, a 6, and a 4. Now, there are 6 attributes. When you level up, you can roll, you can choose, so it's not stuck, it's not static for every level. You can choose to roll, let's say, we'll go back to that example, strength 13 / I think 58 I said. You can choose to roll a d20. Whatever you roll on that 20-sided, you add to that percentage, so you're that much closer to increasing your attribute. I like that. That's neat. And then you go down the line. You know, you could do, let's say, Dex is you want a D4, and Charisma you want the D12. You know, you can, and then every level you can change it up. You can jostle it around if you choose. So, you know, I mean, it would make sense that, let's say, you had a Charisma of 11/97%. I mean, you can use a D20? No. Frickin'. I'm going to gamble and use a D4 or maybe a D6. You're going to go up. You're going to roll it over. Better charisma. Or whatever score. I like that. That could be used in just about any game, even without the build points. You could. I like that. And also there is another thing I actually just spotted the other day, just learned about. This thing keeps sliding. It's called GLOG, The Goblin Laws of Gaming. Look that up, check it out. It seems pretty neat. I haven't looked deeply into it, but there's one rule that I like. It could be for an optional. Instead of using that Hackmaster idea, they have their take on attribute increase. If you wanted to try it and do it, and again, this would be more useful in a BX style game, not in a more non-BX where eventually attribute increases are standard issue after so many levels. You basically would have to roll a 3d6 because you rolled 3d6 for your attributes, and if you meet or beat that attribute, so if I had a 10 in intelligence and I rolled an 11 or a 10 or 11, 12, 13, and you only get this one attribute. You only get to choose one per level. If I rolled a 10 or better, if I'm trying to increase better my intelligence, you do it. It goes up a point. It's kind of neat. I like that. I really do. Yeah, so those are just some of the things I've stumbled across. I like, I enjoy. Please comment, give a like, subscribe. Yeah, hopefully, who I've mentioned on this video, you folks check them out. And, again, mileage may vary. This guy's the next best thing, or, what a jerk. Whatever. Some of them they get a little politicky or whatever, and so I agree, I disagree. I don't. We're gaming here. We're jamming at the table. Feel the need to vent about whatever issue. Go ahead. Either listen or fast forward, or agree or disagree. It is what it is. I do have here. I'm going to show these off because somebody, excuse that ugliness. Someone had mentioned they really like Otherworld Miniatures pig-faced orcs, and I've painted some, a handful, and I believe this fella, if he does watch, he'll enjoy. He'll get a kick out of, if I can get it to focus, how these bad boys came out. Maybe not. Son of a. Come on. Really? You're going to see some here. Oh, dang it. Alright, let me get to some light. Sorry, folks, but I got some that are really neat, and I really want to show these off to this guy. I think he'd enjoy them. He'd really get a kick out of them. The camera on this phone is not. Come on, what the heck? Hey, there we go. I shouldn't have moved it. Yeah. Get another one here. Come on, pick it up. Grab it, rabbit. Well, you get the idea. Hopefully you enjoy... Ah, there we go. Hopefully you enjoy the babbling. And, yeah. See you when I see you, or you see me when you see me. I'm not going to see you. Yeah, everyone, get to the table. Clickety-clack with the math. Rocks. Jam on.